Welcome back to this tree in the Artisan of Glimmith. We're going to do this one right now. Shape bank, 1s, 2s, and 6s. We got 1s and 1s. That has to be a 2. Yes, mingle shape is in effect here. Then this cannot be a 1 or a 2, so it must be part of a 6. Whoops. It does that and that. This has to be a 2. This has to just be a 1. Here, this could be a 1. Or it could be another 6. This could be a 2 or a 6. This one does that in any case. And does not go there. Now, I don't know if this is a 2 or a 6. If this is a 2, this is a 1. Which would mean this had to be a 6. That would be broken because to make this a 6, it would have to be next to this 6. Rectangle, rectangle. So this is not a 2. If that's a 2, that's a 1. That makes this a rectangle. And it's next to that rectangle. So this is that. Which tells us this one goes that way. Now there's a 1 here. A 2 here. A 2 here. A 1 there. A 1 here. This can be a 1 or a 6. This can only be a 2, which cannot go to here, so it must go here. Now there's a 1 and a 2 here, so that must be the 6. That's a 1. Now that's a 2. This is another 6, which has to do that. I don't know yet what else it does. It doesn't go there. This is a 1. If that's a 6 and that's a 2, this would be a 1 unless it's part of the 6. And if that were a 1 and that were the 6 coming here, then this would be a 2 coming to here. And what would that do here? What would that do? That would break it. If this were a 6 going this way, that would be a 1, that would be a 2, and this could not be any part of the shape bank. So this one is going to do that. Now this is a domino, the 2. This is also a 2. If this 2 went to here, that could not be anything. So this 2 goes here. This is also a 2. It must do that. Okay, here, that could be a 2. Or it could be a 6. It takes that. If it's a 6, it takes all of that Otherwise, if it's a 2, then that could be a 6. That would be a 1. This could not be a 1 or a 2, making it a 6, which would break. But there might be alternatives? No, there would not be any alternative. Because one of these could be a 1, but the other could not. Therefore, this one does that. That is a thing. I don't know yet. This can't be part of a 6. And it's not a 2. So it's just that. Which means this is a 2. Does it? I don't think it does. That could be a 1, and that could be a 1, and then this could be a 2. No, then that would be unable to be filled. Okay. Now here, this can be a 1 or a 6. This can only be a 6. There. There's a 1, a 2, 1, 2, and 1. Now, the end of this area, we are at mingle shape 31 plus 2. Is right. Wow. Mingle shape polyomino, no shape bank. Fill in these to start with. That one. This is something I picked up in one of the other ones. It has to do that. And that. This one has to actually go that way. So that does that. This one is going to have to take that. We don't have a shape bank. This is not a 1 or a 2. It is not that 2. It is not this 3. It is not that 3, so it's not a 3. And it cannot make this shape. Now it's a 4, but it's not that 4. If it went on, it would be a 5 touching that. So instead, it does not. It's going to take that one or that one, I don't know which yet. This is a 3, but I don't know what it's doing. This is a complex shape, and making it fit in this space means that. Yes, no, that is broken. Don't complete it when you say it's broken. That's what it is. I was close. Now this comes out here. That one does that. whatever this is, it is not a 1, 2, or a straight 3, so it's that. This has to be part of a 3, just like that, and a 4, just like that. I still don't have which one this is. Wait a minute. Whichever this is, it is broken, isn't it? Why did it take me that long to see it? What the heck? If this were to take that, that would complete that shape, but what would this be? And the same here, it completes that, but what is this? Mingle shape means they can't be touching. That means that everything here is wrong, and I should just hit the R and restart. I do know that all of these are singles. Now I know that it can't be that or that, so it's got to come out here. But it's not done yet because it has to not be this. Whatever this is, it's going to have to bend one way or the other. I don't know which. So that it's not a 1 by 5. Okay, this one has to do that now. I don't know that it's done. It could continue and just be some monster. I do know that this one cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. This one now has to do that. We have those shapes. Okay, this is not a single, so that does take that. Then there should be some sort of guidance here. That one. This shape, it can't go this way. There's no room. I don't know how far it goes. It's gonna have to at least take that. It might stop there and take both of those because this 4 is not the same as that 5. Or it might go all the way down to here. These look like they're something to look at. If I were to do that, it would interfere right here. So I'm not doing that. If I were to do that, of course, that one would be touching and this one would be touching. So I think it has to do that. It takes all 4 of those symbols. To complete it. Now, whoops, back that up. There we go. How do I do the other ones? I know that this right here is a border. But I don't know where this one is going. Now, this one, if it went like that, would be interfering here. If it went like that, would be interfering here. It could go like that. How do these even work? Like that. Ooh, there. And now none of them are touching. Yes, none of those are touching. And they create dominoes that also are not touching each other. Okay, that all works. That's got to be the way it goes. Like that. This could be a 1 and a 2. The 2 would be touching that 2, so it's just a 3. We can fill all of these in. Now, there must be other things. That. Which ways can this go? That interferes there. Or there. Or there. Or there. It could do that. We'd have a 1 and a 1. And these would be fine up here. It can't go that way without breaking that. This does not need to be the end. It could do that. And this is a different one. This is an extra. That would be fine there. The problem with that would be that this would come to here, and I'd have a 1 next to a 1. Two, 4, 6. And now this would come to here, and I'd still have a 1. What if it went like that? Now, when this one does that, this could be a 3. And then a 2. This could fill that in. I don't see anything telling me that this is wrong. That wouldn't be right. Okay, maybe it's up here. That one. Get the dot off there. Cannot be a 1. It can't be a 2. It can't be that shape because that would interfere here. It can't stop there because that would interfere with this. Now it is that shape. And it can't do that. And now it's this shape. Now it is valid. It is not interfering with any of the other shapes that we have. All the regions next to it will have different shapes from it. That one took me a little bit to find. Okay. Do that. This one is going to have to just do that. Here, be a different color. Now, this still has 2 paths it can go by. It could be here. Or it could be here. If it were this, this would have to do that, which looks okay. And if it were this, this would do some other thing. Be fine. Okay. So instead of looking at that one, let's look at this one. We have that part. It can only be that. Yeah, I don't like the numbering that they use. Okay, this one does that, and it's done. We don't know that this ends here. This one could take that or not. This one could be several things. I know it takes that one. It could leave this one out by taking that. It could leave that one out by taking that. It could leave this one out by taking that. This could do that. That. It could do that. Well, it couldn't do that. That one would be broken because of this. That one would be okay. It would push this up. We could have a 3 here. This would be a 2. I think it would cause a problem down here. Okay, yeah, there's a place to look. If this one takes that, it cannot take both of these, and the other one, well, it could take that or not, but it's going to leave at least one single behind. Therefore, it does not go that way. Which means that has to come out here, and this also has to come out here. But they can't be that shape, and if they come to here, they can't be that shape. So they need to do that, at least. That is restricting that one. Now, yeah, I know this one has to come out here, and if it doesn't take that, I get a single. Mingle shape says no. This one can't go that way. going to take something from this row or that one. This can't be a single, and if it comes to here, it can't be a double. And if it went there, it couldn't be the triple. This could be that. We can have a monster shape there. This one. This one could do that. And then that. And we'd have a double here. This one could just take that. That would be fine. This can't do that. And it can't do that. If it did that, we would have this. This could take that, or not. This could take that. This one could fill that in. That's two different ways that that can happen. It could be that. It could be that. I know that it's going to take that. But I don't know what else it's going to do right now. It'll take that one or that one. Ha! This one again, this one could just come out here and do that. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. This shape right here cannot be a single. It's got to come out, but it can't be a double. And it's not that shape. So yes, that one does that. That is exactly correct. Okay. Now, I know that this one does that. This one does that. This does that. That is the same shape. It still might take that. That takes that, and it ends. This one cannot just be 2, and it can't be 1. And if it went to here, it would match that one. So this is going to take all of that, which finishes that. Now this one can't take that, so it's going to go here. Okay. That tells me it's that, that, and this. That, did I just finish this region? Yes, I did. Okay. That one was a little bit rough, but it's done. I will head over into this area properly next time. See you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.